Hi everyone, you're watching the Player Review Team channel. Today we're diving into two incredible cards that absolutely blew us away. Jaap Stam will be the first player we take a close look at and compare with several current alternatives. Vitinha will be second because we saw your request in the comments under the previous review and couldn't skip over this player. By the way, thanks for pushing for it. Vitinha is most likely joining our squad. We're giving away 25 million coins and 5 weekend league boosts over the next months while FC25 is still active. All links in the description. But first, let's break down Stam, who comes in at close to 800,000 coins. Our man has an average body type standing at 191 centimeters. In terms of chemistry style, we recommend only Shadow. As you can see, his playstyles are in great shape, so we won't spend too much time on them and we'll jump straight into the highlights. To start with, Stam not only has great long distance speed, but also explosive acceleration, thanks to his default quick step and solid control while running. Of course, if you miss a run or worse, manually move your defender out of position, he won't be able to catch up to a striker getting a perfect incisive pass, like in this Neymar example. But here's another interesting moment. We make a bad challenge, but Stam quickly returns to his zone and wins the ball back. This guy is extremely independent when recovering. First, if you lunge in poorly, he quickly drops back into position while closing in on the player. Second, he often goes into tackles aggressively, which helps him bully opponents from behind. And that includes not just small players, but also larger body types. This is where we remember the Gold Bruiser and how crucial it is for winning physical duels. And speaking of anticipate, any face-to-face tackle usually ends predictably for the opponent. Here's another solid example of winning the ball without even pressing the tackle button. That's thanks to anticipate and aggression. And right after that, another automatic tackle. Quite aggressive too, where the opponent got up close and personal with the pitch. But relying solely on auto tackles is a mistake. For example, in this clip we hoped for an auto tackle and ended up conceding. That's not Stam's fault, just always try to use manual tackling. Take this one. Auto tackle doesn't trigger, but when we press the button, the opponent is stopped cold by Stam's iron gate. Also, pressing tackle often triggers a wide lunge animation. That lets you instantly close gaps and gives your opponent no time to react. Again, a gold jockey combined with a gold anticipate lets you float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. And even if an opponent breaks past Stam, there's always the last resort, a tough slide tackle with a great animation. Although, as Maldini once said, if I have to make a slide tackle, I've already made a mistake. Even a gold slide doesn't guarantee avoiding fouls. But Stam also said, players are just expensive slabs of meat, and that's a direct quote. So for more authenticity, feel free to ignore the risks and chop down attackers. We're not sure how his reading skills were in school, but in-game, they're excellent. Any ball that comes near, he intercepts confidently, often even stepping up on his own. Mobility while jockeying is key here too, giving better control and smoother interceptions. Once again, he often jumps onto the ball without even pressing tackle, as shown in this clip. To be fair though, his intercept playstyle isn't gold, so the ball doesn't always stick cleanly. That can be an issue. His silver block isn't perfect either, though that's more about the game itself. If it decides not to help you, even Stam or Rudiger, who has gold blocks, won't save the day. That said, despite not being the tallest, Stam has excellent heading animations, so he wins aerials consistently. Left stick control is decent, but the real strength lies in his physicality. He's tough to push off the ball when under pressure. To sum up, Stam is very aggressive and unyielding. You feel his body mass and high aggression, which is why we highly recommend completing him. We had some doubts about his cards earlier this year, but this one leaves no questions. It's a must-do SBC if you need a full meta defender. Sure, the blocks and interceptions aren't perfect, but not enough to pass up on this card. For example, compared to his fellow countrymen, Van de Ven feels softer. He's also excellent and a bit more agile, but a bit more forgiving too. That said, they look amazing as a pair, and we'd run them together. Most of you probably have Saliba, either pulled from a pack or bought for testing due to his price. To be honest, we weren't impressed. We'd prefer Van de Ven, let alone Stam. Let's not forget that Van Dijk is coming later this season, and he'll likely replace Van de Ven, but not Stam. Just imagine a Van Dijk-Stam duo. Simply put, complete him. The price is totally fair. Honestly, we expected 1.5 million, so this feels almost like a gift considering the current grind. Detailed Stam ratings will be posted tomorrow on our Twitter. Now, let's move on to the Portuguese player many of you wanted us to review. Vitinha will cost you around 700,000 coins. The only drawback is the lack of camp positioning, but that's easily fixed with the right evolution. The Portuguese player has a lean body type, stands at 173 centimeters, and boasts 5-star skills and weak foot. For chemistry style, we recommend Anchor as the best fit for this card. Among playstyles, highlight low-driven shot, passing traits, and of course intercept plus anticipate. Vitinha can handle any midfield role, but we wouldn't use him as a pure CDM. He's got speed off the ball, but lacks any aggression. Simply put, Vitinha is no Kante. He's only lacking aggression and auto tackles, because manual tackles are absolutely fine. Without Anticipate, things would be bleak, but with Anticipate, the card transforms. He becomes sticky and you start seeing wide lunges. Well, as wide as 173 centimeters allow. Here, for instance, he didn't have the leg length to reach the ball, which was expected. This shows in interceptions too. He might miss a few, but when he does reach the ball, it sticks. Sometimes he even intercepts with flare-style animations. Remember that trait from older games? But the main point is, after intercepting, you can launch an attack, either with a pass or a burst using speed boost or a step over. And yes, speed boost is here. Vitinha actually reminds us of the 98 rated Butragueño, but we'll talk about him later near the end. Vitinha is primarily a playmaker, or at least a box-to-box with excellent passing, so skip the sprinting and go for classic passing instead. Even his silver incisive pass isn't far behind gold, so don't let the color fool you, it works great. Same goes for long balls, they feel close to the gold level. Simply put, the passing here really impressed us. What also stood out was the left stick, not just smooth, but genuinely unique. We'll get back to that, but let's talk finishing first. As noted, Vitinha fits perfectly as a box-to-box, especially in a midfield trio and especially in our system. Our central midfielders crash the box often, so low-driven shot helps. Yes, he lacks Trivela inside the box, but for long shots he's consistently solid. Timing isn't even required most of the time. He does lack finesse shots though. Hopefully soon we'll see an evolution that lets us add a gold finesse playstyle. As mentioned, you can give Vitinha an evolution for Cam. He'll shine even more in that role. Not just because of 5-star skills and weak foot, low driven, and great passing, but thanks to that phenomenal left stick. First, the card has press proven, which helps resist pressure and lets you turn more effectively under duress. For instance, here, he's under pressure from Theo, but still keeps the ball, turns, and sets up a play. Just make sure to release the ball before getting overwhelmed. Now the best part, the left stick. Look at this sharp animation switch after the skill move. No L1 needed, that's what makes Vitinha special. With L1, you unlock ridiculous animation speeds, even compared to shorter players. And finally, look at this first touch and follow-up L1 movement. Moments like this show exactly why you want Vitinha in your squad. To sum up, while recording Stam, we felt he would definitely make it into our main account, and we still stand by that. But after a few matches with Vitinha, we're certain he'll be the first one to lock a starting spot. He's a truly unique player with exceptional dribbling that you feel in your fingertips. That's his main weapon, followed by some great playstyles. We liked him way more than Butragueño. If we thought Butra was shifty, after playing with Vitinha, we realized who the real boss is. The Spaniard hits the bench. As for Bruno Fernandes, he's not as sharp and is better suited for the cam role. But again, you can evolve Vitinha into a cam, where he clearly outshines Bruno. Once again, full ratings for Stam and Vitinha will be posted tomorrow on our Twitter. If you've got questions, drop them in the comments. We'll try to reply quickly. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss more great reviews. Thanks for watching till the end and see you in the next video.